Hey guys, welcome back to AP Wargaming and Terrain. It's Tuesday and it's time for another tutorial for you guys. Last week we did our bookshelves, and this week we're going to go ahead and fill those bookshelves out with some books and some scrolls. Let's not waste a whole lot of time here. Let's just dive into this. So let's turn our empty bookshelves into these nice, full, pretty bookshelves. So let's head down to the table and I'll show you how I did it. So the first thing you're going to need here is these printouts, and I'll leave a description or a link in the description below. They're not my printouts, I did not make them. So once you've got those printed out, you just grab a straight edge and a knife, cut along the lines, pretty self-explanatory. Now that those are all cut out, grab yourself some foam core, which I believe I'm just using your standard foam core, which is about 1/4 of an inch. Use a glue stick, attach to the board, flip it over, attach more glue, and roll the printout onto the foam core. Once they're set and you know they're not going to move, just grab your straight edge again and your knife and then cut them out. Once you got the strip cut out, you just start cutting the books out. The lines between them are a little bit difficult to see because it's not a high resolution printout, which is fine. We don't need a high resolution printout for these. But with my bookshelves, these books were a little too big, so I had to trim off about 1/4 of an inch of each book in order to get them to fit. Now when it came to gluing the books, because it's foam core, I didn't want to use super glue, so I just used some Eileen's tacky glue, put it along the back of the spine, and then just glued them to the back of the bookshelf basically. And this is going to help you prevent any type of run over from your glue or anything, which is going to give you a weird translucent bump in random places. Now when it came to the scrolls, I used the excess strips of paper that came off of the printouts, took a toothpick just to help me get started, and used a glue stick to help keep the scrolls together. Now later, as I got further along and started doing more and more of the scrolls, I realized that the glue stick was not necessary. The paper pretty much stayed where I needed it to. It didn't poof out too far, and with it being able to relax like that, the scrolls don't look like they're tightly wound. They look a little bit more natural, so I stuck with that over time, and I like the way they turned out. Now I couldn't very well put perfectly white scrolls on these bookshelves. It just didn't look right. So I used some of my Reichling Flesh Shade and just colored the scrolls to give them more of a natural look. Now when it came to gluing the scrolls on, I did use super glue on this part because I wanted it to basically just adhere instantly and I didn't have to mess with it. In this particular point, I actually stopped pre-coloring the scrolls before I glued them on. So all I did was I super glued them where I wanted them, kind of let them fall wherever, and then after it was dry, I went back in and applied the flesh shade to give the scroll some tone. So guys, that is it for this week. This was a quick build. I really enjoyed it, and it really helps out these bookshelves. I did leave some spaces on these bookshelves because I wanted to add like some little skulls or maybe some little candles, decorative pieces basically that I didn't have on hand at the current moment. So if you're interested in seeing the 100% complete finished product, head on over to AP Wargaming on Facebook, and I'll have some finished pictures up on there. But that is it for this Tuesday, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, share, subscribe if you're not a subscribed member of the channel already. Quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. I appreciate what you guys do for me. Really helps out. So that is it, and we'll see you this time next week.